Hello, my darling. Hello, my evening. Hello, my ragtime gal. Hey, creatures, it's me, Harrold, and we're here in the Alchemy Lab talking about the second season of the show Wednesday. It finally released its second part, and so we have a total of 8 episodes making up the season. So here we are, we're gonna break down everything that happened this year. So get your bootstrap strapped and your meal squares ready, because today is all about the Addams Family. They're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. They're all together, ooky, the Addams Family. It's always nice to see the Addams Family entering the pop culture once again. I do feel like that they are a wholesome staple of what families can be. And their legacy has lasted decades, nearly a century now, I think. We're now in season 2 of the Tim Burton television show. Jenna Ortega plays Wednesday Addams, Catherine Zeta-Jones as Morticia, Luis Guzman as Gomez, Isaac Ordanes as Pugsley, Gwendolyn Christie returns as Larissa Weems, Emma Myers plays Enid Sinclair, and Fred Armisen rounds out the Addams Family cast with Fester. A couple of new additions this season is a favorite of ours, Billy Piper, and another big name of Steve Buscemi, and he is playing the new principal of Nevermore in season 2. Great to see the cast get even bigger in season 2, and I'm really excited to see who enters the cast in season 3. Because these are some great casting choices in my opinion. Tim Burton directed the first 4 episodes of season 1, and he directed another 4 this year, including the finale. Tim Burton's career really has had some up and downs. He kind of came out of nowhere in his early career, style that no one had seen before and was really willing to eat up real quick. Pee-wee's Big Adventure was a big hit, and then they gave him Batman, which became a pop culture phenomenon. After that, he was allowed to make any film he wanted to, and that's when we got the style of Tim Burton in full effect. Edward Scissorhands, Beetlejuice, A Nightmare Before Christmas, and the list goes on, which would be the golden era of Tim Burton. But then something kind of happened. He became very corporate in a lot of his filmmaking decisions. I would point out the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory films and the Alice in Wonderland film. All of that was just really spotty work. And I'm not sure Tim Burton was really putting his best foot forward in those projects. But then Wednesday season 1 happened, and that changed a lot. In turn, I believe season 1 inspired Tim Burton to go and make Beetlejuice 2, which wasn't half bad. And now we're here in Wednesday season 2. This is definitely Tim Burton's Addams Family. The second season centers around a lot of the family drama, which is exactly what I wanted and was missing in season 1. In season 1, Wednesday must attend Nevermore campus. This is a school for what they call outcasts, which is basically people like the Addams Family, werewolves, sirens, all kinds of monsters and stuff. And these are just regular kids trying to get an education and understand their powers. So really, this is kind of gothic Harry Potter. Harry Potter with that Addams Family twist. On campus, she makes quick friends with a werewolf named Enid, who is the absolute opposite of her. Rainbows and sunshines and lots of dancing and music and stuff. Whereas Wednesday is I'm Wednesday. This is my Wednesday face. I'm Wednesday. I'm very literal and torture makes me excited. I'm also a writer, and I am forced to come here because I have been destroying every single school I come to. At its heart, Wednesday is a detective story series for young adults, which is, I think, the best way to attack this material and slowly reintroduce the Addams Family and allow them to get kookier and kookier. Fred Armisen is playing Fester, and there is some news that he's going to get his own TV show. And if he does, that will really open up this world. And I'm hoping for the whole family to be able to go back and forth between the 2 shows with no problem. That's my dream. That includes Jenna Ortega, even though I doubt she would show up in the Fester series unless it's like for 1 episode. But the rest of the cast I see showing up for that. After a few murders on campus, Wednesday goes into detective mode and finds out that a Hyde, somewhat of a creature like the Jekyll and Hyde story, but he's way huge. He's like as big as a werewolf in this universe. But they're Hydes, they're monsters, and they go on like killing rampages and they need a master. There's a whole lore thing going on with them. And it ends up the Hyde was one of the other students. And now he's locked up because he was trying, to kill people. And he was being controlled by another teacher there, who was in the first season played by Christina Ricci, who shows up in this season 2, but only for a few moments. There was also this painter guy, but he's not in season 2, and he's not coming back. So His story didn't really add anything to the bigger Wednesday plot, so there's more important things to focus on, and I think that the family themselves should be the focus. And now it's time for season 2, and I really enjoyed it all the way through. This is a fun detective story with a really mysterious and spooky family at the center of it. Their charisma is very charming, and if you buy into this world, there's a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, and some reasonable drama going on. I will say in this second season, the character of Wednesday is not as fleshed out as she was in season 1. Season 1 did have a love triangle, and I know the writers hated doing that, but in this season 2, she doesn't have any relationships except with the family, which I do think is a good change, but we don't really see Wednesday grow as a character. Not saying she has to have a love triangle to do that, but she's in detective mode the entire time and doesn't really get away from that at any point. She has some conflicts with her mother, Morticia. It's more of a character arc for Morticia than it is Wednesday. After season 1, Wednesday is viewed as a hero to the rest of the students, so returning in season 2, she rebukes their hero worship. There's a bunch of groupies following her around now, and one of them is called Agnes, who becomes one of our new characters in this series. We follow her as she's obsessed with Wednesday, copying her look, her trademark stare. She also has a power that makes her invisible and is given a decent arc for a brand new character in this series. I wasn't initially sold on her. I was like, what? This is just a groupie following her around. But by the end of the series, she called them the Three Musketeers, and that really got me hooked. Wednesday would be Aramis, Enid would be Porthos, and Agnes would be Athos. Some Three Musketeers trivia for you there. Look it up. I think that would be the best combo there. Get a little fan casting in this middle of this episode. But that mention really made me come around on her, especially after her character gets ironed out in the last few episodes. Now, while Wednesday's in detective mode, Enid is getting the love triangle. She gets all the high school drama this season. And some of it wasn't horrible, but a lot of it felt like filler for the individual episodes. It was a little disappointing. So Enid didn't get really the greatest arc this season. The new groupie got a better arc than she did. But make no mistake, Enid is extremely important to the Wednesday television show. Without giving too much away, this season does end on a cliffhanger, which directly involves Enid. They Han Solo'd her. Let's hope for a quick turnaround on season 3. She also got the dance this season. It was very clear that Jenna Ortega did not want to do a dance for season 2. But the show needed a dance, so they gave it to Enid and the new girl, Agnes. It was pretty good, but they're not going to hit the viral sensation that the first season was. We'll see in season 3 if they even put one in. This year also heavily introduces the other Addams sibling, and that's Pugsley. It's his first year in Nevermore, and they try to give him a few things to do, but he's just kind of filling in space. Same with Gomez. Neither of them are really given much to do. Yes, Pugsley is tied into one of the major plot points, but that's more of happenstance. He didn't realize what he was doing when he did it, and just got pulled into it by the end. I mean, he's not even really there, except for to be like a MacGuffin for the villain, which is a little disappointing. We'll see what season 3 does, and the Fester show. I bet Pugsley is going to be in the Fester show a lot, but that's the only character that wasn't in the show too much. That was Fester. He's a fan favorite, naturally, played by some classic actors. And this time, Fred Armisen has the reins. Like I said earlier, there may be a Fester television show coming out, so we'll report on that when there's time. But in this show, he's barely in it. One episode and a little bit, just like last season. A little disappointing. I guess Fester's always off doing his own thing. And then there's the mystery of the season. Wednesday has a premonition that Enid gets killed, so she goes straight into detective mode to save her friend. After some shenanigans, she finds out that hides are involved. And there's this zombie running around eating brains and slowly regenerating. Wednesday digs deep into the family history to try to find out if her premonitions will come true. She keeps seeing the hides, and after they escape from the mental institute, is trying her best to hunt them down. Eventually, the story collides in this epic showdown in the bell tower, and there are major revelations of the Addams family that cannot be missed if you're an Addams family lore enthusiast at all, because it looks like Tim Burton is really wanting to dig deep, especially if he has a season 3 planned. And then there's Steve Buscemi's character. He is the new principal of Nevermore. There is always something up. If you saw the first half, you already are. You probably already have figured out that there is something up with him. His character just arrived in this season, but they tie him to a plot from season 1, and then wrap it up real fast. It was a little disappointing on why they introduced this plot. It was about a cult called Morning Song, using sirens to control people, and then it ends up Steve Buscemi is the actual leader, even though he just showed up this season, so it was a little hamstrung, just rushed together plot. And now that season 2's over, I don't think they have to deal with it anymore. Which is, thank goodness, but it's sad to see Steve Buscemi not stick around, because he was menacing and funny at the same time. I don't think many actors can pull that off. Is this going to be a thing now, where Nevermore gets a new principal every season and then he die? It's very Harry Potter. You know, the class of dark arts. And then that teacher always dies every season. You know, in Harry Potter, where the dark arts class teacher dies every season, but Nevermore, instead, they're going to do the principal instead. I mean, if you're going to rip something off, I guess rip that off, especially if you're doing a whole school thing. But maybe we can mix it up for season 3. They are saying the campus is closed, but I really doubt that's going to last for long. Somebody's going to reopen it, and we'll have another adventure there. Maybe not the whole season next season, but at least for part of it. So color me interested for season 3 of Wednesday. I'm a big Addams Family lore fan, and seeing everything they're doing with Wednesday makes a lot of sense and makes me happy. I'm really hoping that they do a Fester show and really explore this universe, while using all the same actors and such. We'll see. We got our fingers crossed. Thank you for coming to the Alchemy Lab. I'm Harrold. Please leave a comment about everything we got wrong, and please tell us what you would like us to review next. We're here on TikTok, and we're here on Instagram, so make sure you like and subscribe for all of your Harrold needs. Remember, stay frosty, creatures. Blah!